I've noticed a theme. I wonder if you've noticed this too, in fragrance review videos that focus on perfumes that are appropriate for the workplace. And the theme is that they tend to be very subtle fragrances, like really second skin or your skin but better, and nothing that's more loud or unique than that. And there are lots of your skin but better fragrances that are beautiful. And there are definitely workplaces or work environments where that is really the most appropriate thing. But for most people who work in an office environment, like I do, I'm a lawyer, I work in an office, I have an office, I meet with other people in their office, I take meetings all over, and I would like a fragrance that's a little bit more than a second skin. I thought of this because I just got home from work myself. Actually, I'm still in my work clothes. And I was thinking about the fragrance that I wore to work today because I could still smell it, which is very nice. But I thought, I don't think I've ever heard anyone recommend this in a workplace or professional work appropriate fragrance video. Now, I do like sometimes a clean and a fresh or a powdery kind of fragrance, and I always want to smell professional in the workplace. I want to keep it professional, but it doesn't have to be so subtle that no one can notice it but me. So I have 5 categories of fragrances. I think all of these fragrances are appropriate for just about any office environment. If you work in a restaurant, or if you work outside, or if you work somewhere where there's lots of open space and lots of fresh air, something like that, then you might be able to do something that's even louder or bolder than the ones I'll mention. All right, what do I look for in a workplace perfume? There's basically 3 things. One is the scent profile, or the overall sort of what I'm getting from it. And that is what I've already said. I want it to be professional, but I also want it to be a little bit interesting. What is interesting might vary. It might be something seasonal. It might be something fresh. It might be something that makes me feel really confident or like I can seize the day, depending on what I've got going on. But a little bit of personality. Number 2, for sillage, I want to have a scent bubble, but I don't want a trail. I don't want a fragrance that's going to enter the room before I do and stay long after I leave. For longevity, I want something that's going to last basically all day, but not into the next day. I have been in offices where someone was in that office with a strong perfume and it stayed after they left. I don't want that. I want it to last, to stay with me for the day, and the next day I want my office to smell fresh. If I go visit someone in their office or I have a meeting, I don't want the conference room to smell like me after I leave. So I hope that you find some things here that you like. Let's jump into these fragrances. In the first, in what I'm calling a fresh category. So this is something that makes me feel fresh and clean, but isn't just fresh and clean. It's got some personality and something to it that also would make me stand out. This one is Elisab Le Parfum. This is a beautiful, a little bit sparkling floral with like a touch of honey. It has a rose and patchouli base. So what you get is a tinge sweet, floral, very feminine, and somewhat sparkly fragrance. The orange flower and jasmine that are sort of in the top and the mid of this fragrance give it kind of a layering kind of depth that is really nice. The dry down on this is a very feminine, workplace appropriate fragrance that is unique enough and stands out enough where someone might say, oh, that smells really nice, but it's not going to stay in the room after you leave. The next in fresh fragrances, which no doubt if you have seen a fragrance review video about professional fragrances for women, you may have seen this one at some point, and that's Prada La Femme. Don't worry, there's not going to be a lot of overlap. That's the whole point of this video. But I do have to concede that this one comes up with some frequency, and that's because it has a well-deserved reputation, well-earned reputation for being a great professional fragrance. This is a floral fragrance with a bit of tuberose, I think, and iris. So it's got a little bit of a powdery touch, and it has beeswax, vanilla, and vetiver in the base. It only has the slightest sweetness. What you get ultimately is a light but noticeable professional fragrance. And if you overspray this, it will give you like the perfect scent bubble for the workplace. The next and final one in my workplace lineup is a Givenchy fragrance, and I cannot pronounce this, so I'm just going to put it on the screen. This is a beautiful rose green fragrance, or green rose fragrance. There's several greenish notes in here. There's like basil in the top. There's 3 types of rose in this fragrance. In the base, I think you have a moss note and patchouli leaf. So this is a floral, rose, and green fragrance. And that's basically what it smells like. But overall, it gives you a kind of rosy green freshness that is perfect for work. It's a unique fragrance. I don't think this is a safe blind buy. I think the other 2 are. If you're the ones that I've said so far, the Prada La Femme and the Elie Saab, if you're looking for a workplace fragrance or you're looking for a gift for someone who is a professional, you can find those at very reasonable prices. I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone who absolutely does not like those. This, I think, really is so unique that you got to try this before you buy it, and it's not inexpensive. So, but if you like it, if you're into green fragrances, or if you want to get into green fragrances, this is a great one and perfect for work. I'm going to move on to the next category. So we're out of kind of the fresh category and we're moving into powdery. And there's some overlap in most of these. They don't fit squarely. A lot of them don't fit squarely in one category or another, but it's sort of the theme that I'm getting for the purposes of this video. So this is Amouage Honor Woman. This is a powdery goodness from Amouage. There's lots of notes in here, as per usual for Amouage, and they are perfectly blended into this powdery, feminine, fresh goodness. There's rhubarb and pepper in the top. There's lily of the valley, gardenia, jasmine in the mid. In the base, you have these kind of intense, like amber, incense, vetiver notes. But you don't get this deep, dark base. What you get is the light, powdery femininity of this stays through, but as only Amouage can do, there's this unique blend of notes that just come together so beautifully. If you are a working professional and you have not tried this, I would recommend that you check it out. You almost can't talk about powdery fragrances and in any sort of like luxury elevated way without thinking of Dama Bianca. This is a fantastic powdery fragrance that has so much depth, that is so pretty and uplifting and feminine. This too has iris, lily of the valley. There's also some vanilla and musk in the base. So there's some interesting things happening here, but the overall feel is just beautiful, feminine, confidence, luxury. If you haven't tried this, you've got to get your hands on it. This is perfect for work if you don't mind standing out in all the right ways. This is not going to be offensive. This is not going to linger and irritate everybody once you leave the room, but you will carry with you a beautiful scent bubble. You will smell confident and clean and professional and just beautiful. My last pick for a powdery fragrance is Tiffany. This is the original Tiffany fragrance in this classic packaging. It is a very pretty fragrance. It is a little bit, in my opinion, just a little bit, kind of plain. It doesn't stand out as much as some of the others, but it is a respectable professional fragrance, and it's not so plain that I would just call it a second skin. Not at all. It's a floral fragrance with a little bit of fruit. I think there's some peach in here, black currant, and it has a musk patchouli base. I really like this fragrance, and it has a special place in my heart because it was a gift from my husband a long time ago, and since then he's purchased me every perfume from the Tiffany line. So I have a whole collection of them. And this, I think, is a very popular OG fragrance. The intense version of this is also very nice. And in fact, I think a lot of people prefer that one. My favorite in the line, which I won't go through all of them, but my favorite is the Rose Gold Intense. This is a stunningly beautiful fragrance. It is so feminine and so pretty and just packs a punch. You cannot go wrong with this in the workplace. This is also an excellent, excellent gift. The packaging is exquisite. The Tiffany, everything about it is just lovely. It is a beautiful designer fragrance that is accessible. It's not cheap, but it's accessible and just makes such a special presentation. If you know someone who is a working professional and you're looking for a gift idea, this really could be great. Any of them really could be great, but this happens to be my favorite. All right, we're moving on to the next category, and that is floral fragrances for the workplace. I have 3 of those for you, and the first is Roja Parfums 51. This is the, what is this? The essences or whatever it is. It's not the one in the original bottle that's the higher concentration. It's the one, the bottles don't look like this anymore. They're clear. There are a couple in this line that actually I like, but this one, given the season, this is the one I would reach for. This has a ton of floral notes and a bunch of other stuff, and it's beautifully blended, comes together perfectly, as tends to be the case with Roja Parfums. I love it. It is very sophisticated. It is distinct. It is elevated. It's lovely. And if you're looking for a floral fragrance for the workplace, this is a good one. The next one that I have is Creed Wind Flowers. This is such a stunning fragrance, but it is a little bit unexpected. So you look at this and you think, oh, pretty girly girl, it's pink, it's light pink, and it's going to be light, it's going to be fresh, it's going to be watery. No. You get that in the beginning. And this is a heavy floral fragrance. I don't mean that the fragrance is heavy. I mean, there's a lot of florals. There's jasmine, tuberose, orange blossom. So there is a lot going on in here. There's also musk and sandalwood, praline. It's a fabulous fragrance that has like a surprise ending, like a twist at the end. And that is that it gets very deep and very rich and a little bit, just the slightest bit sensual. Appropriate at work level sensual, like alluring, interesting. This also would make a fantastic gift, but I don't think it's necessarily a safe blind buy because that dry down is so unexpected. Everything that I recommend would be great for a gift. Almost everything would be great for a gift if you know the person you're shopping for, but some present especially well. So try this one. Finally, of course, we had to add Coco Mademoiselle. This is Coco Mademoiselle Intense. This is a floral fragrance, of course. This is a patchouli, musky, orangey fragrance. The original Coco Mademoiselle, I think, is a little lighter. This has this like heavy dose of something orange that to me stands out a lot. It is pretty, it is feminine, it is perfect for work, but it has kind of this distinctness, this uniqueness to it that is quite different and was a little unexpected for me. I do think this is a beautiful fragrance. I think some people really prefer the Intense over the original, but I think they're both lovely. And you will always be a classy lady wearing Coco Mademoiselle. Now, it does have a Chanel, it has that Chanel thing to it. So if that's not your thing, then, that's what you're going to get. But if you do like that, you like elegance, class on top of your professionalism, you'll like this. Now I want to have a little bit of fun in these last 2 categories. And the first one is going to be seasonal perfumes. And the note that I chose for kind of the seasonal highlight is vanilla. 'Tis the season for some extra dose of vanilla. And I have 3, again, choices for you. The first is Lalique Le Parfum. This is a very vanilla forward fragrance, but in the most like professional elevated way. It is so pretty and so classy and so like just kind of a humble little perfume that's easy to find at a good price. You can probably find this heavily discounted, and don't sleep on it because don't let the price fool you. This is a beautiful, classy fragrance and perfect for this time of year. A heavy vanilla fragrance that you can wear in the daytime in a professional environment is a unique sort of profile. And this, I think, really, really does it well. I think the liquid is much clearer when you get it, and it kind of darkens over time, as vanilla fragrances tend to do. Find yourself a bottle of this and check it out. The next is another classic, but it's Mon Guerlain. This is a vanilla fragrance, but vanilla lavender. Beautiful, feminine, professional, and great at work. Now this, I think, does linger on clothes. I don't think this is going to stay in a room. I know, at least it has never for me, stayed in a room after you leave. But it has a lovely scent profile. It will stay on your clothes though. So be mindful. If you wear dry clean only clothing, spray this on your body before you get dressed, or spray this on your blouse or your bra or your pantyhose or whatever you wear underneath, so that you don't get the smell too much into your dry clean only clothes, because it's just harder to get out there. And this will stick around, not in the air, but on your clothes. But it's a beautiful fragrance, and you cannot go wrong in the workplace with this. Total compliment getter and very, very ladylike fragrance. The last in the vanilla category is Gentle Fluidity Gold. Masterpiece vanilla. This, I think, has gotten better with time. In addition to the juice getting darker, it's just developing so nicely. This fragrance is almost a little bit masculine for me, like just on the spectrum of feminine to masculine, it's like just on this side feminine, but like up against the line. It is beautiful. It is girly in its own way, but it has this sort of mysterious quality to it that I think almost seems a little masculine to me, but don't let that turn you off. It is lovely and very vanilla. Interestingly, you can also layer this. This is a perfect layering fragrance. So if you have a fragrance that you like that would go good with vanilla and you want to spice it up, this is one way to do it. And my last category is kind of the wild card. You want to be extra, you want to be fun, you want something that's making a bolder statement at work, but still professional. It's outside of the traditional categories of fresh and clean and powdery and floral, and it's a little sassy and a little bold, a little boss. I have 3 perfumes for you. The first is Rouge Malachite from Armani. This is a tuberose bomb. Tuberose, top, middle, and base. So very floral fragrance, very heavy floral fragrance, but it is gorgeous. It is classy. It is professional. You could wear this from day to night easily, and you will always be in style. You will always be appropriate. I would highly recommend you try this before you buy it. But if you like tuberose, even a little bit, and you work in a professional environment, this is a great choice. For the day that you want to just boss up, this will do it for you. The next is by Maison Cyr, and it's For Your Love. This is like a raspberry, musky, patchouli fragrance. It has something that's got kind of a spicy quality to it. Some say this is like a lighter raspberry-ish version of Baccarat Rouge. You don't even need to go there. This stands on its own. It is lovely. I get compliments every time I wear this. And at work, somebody's always like, who is that? Who is that smells like that? What am I smelling? It's this. So try this for sure. Lovely, long lasting, or lasts just long enough, and you cannot go wrong. We will end on a fragrance that I've talked about many times, but it happens to be the fragrance that I wore today to work, and it inspired this video, and so I thought, okay, I have to talk about it. And that is Creed Queen of Silk. I love this perfume. It is such a classy, bold, but just the right level of boldness for the workplace. It is feminine. It is a little bit flirty. It is alluring. It is a little mysterious, but it's all of that in like the elegant, classy way. This, I think, is a masterpiece fragrance and probably my favorite Creed so far. I really do think it is perfect for this time of year and perfect for work. I think this is great for any occasion, really, if you want to like level up. It is great for a date night. It's great for feeling fancy. It's great for being out with the girls, but it's also great for being a professional. Just don't swim in it, okay? Just spray a few places on your skin. It will stay with you. It will last. It will stick to your clothes too. Again, if you dry clean your clothes, just be aware. But it is such a lovely feminine beauty. I could not talk about it. So there you have it. 3 fragrances to choose from 5 categories. We've covered a whole range of options for the workplace in an office setting, including some seasonally appropriate ones. I could talk about many more, and I certainly could have a whole different list in another season, but I hope that you found something that you like, something that you haven't maybe thought of before as maybe a workplace fragrance. Trust me, all of these are tried and true in a workplace with lots of people with lots of opinions and lots of lawyers and lots of people would tell me if there was a problem. And these are good to go. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel. Come back and see me again soon. Be blessed. Thanks for watching.